The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track, and ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
The Tudors Dynasty Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Rebecca Larson. Before we dive in, just a quick reminder to hit that follow or subscribe button. It's totally free and helps you stay up to date. We've got new episodes every week, plus bonus interviews with authors and historians on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you won't want to miss out. Now, let's step into the gilded halls and candlelit salons of 18th century Europe to meet a woman whose name history often forgets. The daughter of a musician, the wife of a composer, the mother of a musician and artist, Constance Mozart. Born into poverty and marrying for love, Constance lived a difficult life of loss, but came out shining brighter. She spent most of her life preventing the legacy of her husband, Wolfgang Mozart, from being forgotten. Join me as we uncover the forgotten life of Constance, the woman behind the music. Constance Mozart was born in 1762 in Zell, Germany, to Fridolin and Cecilia Weber. She was the third daughter born to the poor court musician and his wife. She was exposed to music from an early age, learning how to play the piano and also receiving a formal education. She was introduced to Wolfgang Mozart at the age of 15 when he became a boarder at their house. I wish I could say it was love at first sight, but sadly for Constance, he had fallen in love with her older sister, Aloisa Lange. He proposed and they had plans to elope, plans that were foiled by Mozart's father, Leopold. After this, the Weber family moved to Vienna in 1780, leaving Mozart in Germany. Fridolin died the same year, leaving his already poor family with very little income. The next year, Mozart would move in with the family again, where he would finally open his eyes to the beauty that was Constance, now age 19. This did not go over well with Cecilia. She was worried about her daughter's reputation, worried about the rumors that would circulate, and it would ruin other potential marriage proposals. Mozart's father was also not happy about the potential marriage, as in December 1781, Mozart wrote to him asking for his blessing to marry Constance. This marriage was not beneficial to the Mozart family. Constance did not come from money and lacked powerful connections, which he would need to launch his career as a composer. Constance wanted nothing more than to marry Mozart and move out of her mother's house. Life became tense for her. Cecilia and Constance fought constantly. With Mozart's lack of money and musical career, it prevented the pair from marrying. But in August 1782, the two married in a small, intimate ceremony. In correspondence that survives between the couple, there is no denying that this marriage was a love match. Infatuated with each other, they were seldomly separated. At this time, Mozart's career as a composer began to take off. The couple began to see more and more money, but Mozart was known to frequently be in debt. He would spend these earnings on accommodations in Vienna, wanting to live as lavishly as the elite did. After giving birth to 6 children, only 2 sons would survive. Their first child, born Raymond Leopold Mozart, would live only 2 months in 1783. Then came Carl Thomas Mozart, born in September 1784, who would try to join the music industry like his father, but would ultimately give up. going into accounting instead and Italian translating. The couple's third child was Johann Thomas Leopold Mozart, who would only survive a month. Next came their daughter, Teresa Constantia Adelheid Friederike Maria Anna Mozart. Whew, that's a mouthful. She suffered from intestinal complications and would die at 6 months old. Their second daughter, Anna Maria Mozart, was born in November 1789. When Constance fell pregnant in the spring of 1789, Wolfgang had to leave Vienna. The debt he was accumulating was becoming too much for the couple to maintain. When he returned home, he found Constance sick in bed with a leg ulcer, believed to have been due to his absence from their home and also the lack of letters he sent to her. She quickly recovered, entering into her third trimester. Anna would die an hour after birth. The couple's final baby, Franz Xavier Wolfgang Mozart, was born in July of 1791. Musically gifted like his father, he made his debut in Vienna in April of 1805. He made his living teaching and traveling, performing his father's work and also some of his own. Even though the couple suffered from many losses, their lives were always busy with the hustle and bustle of constant stream of pupils, musicians, artists, and friends. Constance thrived in this busy lifestyle. She took up singing and continued playing the piano. She was also very popular amongst Mozart's composer and musician friends, having multiple compositions dedicated to her. She launched herself into the opera scene. She frequently performed publicly in Vienna with Mozart. This would not last long, as from 1788 to 1790, Constance would suffer from bouts of illness brought on by her frequent pregnancies. She would often seek relief from the sulfur spas of Baden. These pricey treatments would also add to the couple's debt. Their troubles became even worse when Mozart became violently ill in November of 1791. His actual cause of death was unknown, but many speculate, including Constance and his sons, that he was poisoned. For days, Constance and her sisters would attempt to care for Mozart, but in December of the same year, he would die at the age of 35. Constance was so grief-stricken that she was unable to attend Mozart's funeral. Having no money and nowhere to turn, Constance and her children moved in with family for a while. Word eventually got out that she was receiving a small annual pension from the Holy Roman Emperor Leopold II. Her late husband had been so beloved by the music community that she was often the subject of many benefit concerts arranged by loved ones and friends that remained close to her after the death of her husband. A friend of hers financed her son's education, even going so far as to take up collections for Constance. She took her husband's life work very seriously, only selling 8 compositions to the King of Prussia in 1792. In 1795, her sister Aloisa undertook a concert tour in the northern German states. It was very successful. Constance would then open a boarding house where she would be introduced to George Nicholas von Niesen. He was a well-educated Danish diplomat with a strong musical interest. The pair became close friends, eventually organizing Mozart's manuscripts. Constance would authenticate each page herself, worried that someone would try to take credit for her late husband's work. She would sell a large number of the compositions to Johann André of Offenbach, a friend of Mozart's. She would end up working frequently with Offenbach, letting him publish much of Mozart's corpus of music. Constance would remarry George Nicholas von Niesen in June of 1809. Both of her sons were grown with established careers and remained close to their mother, developing a close relationship with von Niesen. Constance and von Niesen would move to Copenhagen and Salzburg, working on a biography of Mozart. She would also outlive her second husband, who would die in 1826 before the completion of the biography. The sheer length and poor written quality caused the lack of interest in the book that was published in 1828. The biography has a lot of personal touches from Constance herself. She would move in with her sister Eloisa in Salzburg, where she would die on the 6th of March, 1842, at the age of 40. Constance Mozart's life wasn't solely defined by her famous husband. She shaped and molded it through loss, expectation, and her never-wavering resiliency. She was a woman who endured more than her fair share of grief, yet still found joy in music, friendship, and love. She preserved Mozart's legacy not out of obligation, but out of deep affection, and in doing so, she carved out her own. We remember her not just as the widow of a genius, but as a force in her own right, a mother, a performer, a steward of music, and a woman who, in the end, claimed her era with grace. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the life of Constance Mozart. If you loved this episode, don't forget to rate and review us on your favorite podcast platform. And follow Tudors Dynasty and Beyond for more stories of powerful women who shaped our world, sometimes from the throne and sometimes from the shadows. If you'd like to support the show or are just looking for commercial-free episodes, early access, exclusive content, head on over to my Patreon at patreon.com/Tudors Dynasty for more information. There'll be a link in the show notes. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the stories you thought you knew.
The Tudors Dynasty Podcast.